Hello everyone, my name is Robert Melvitz and I am Swedish language teacher. I often get questions from my students about en and et words, how to remember which words belong to which category. And the question is whether if there is a hope, and I have to say yes indeed there is a hope. So if you don't know what en and et is, we have to clarify it first. It is similar to English language where you have indefinite articles, a and n words. For example, when you say a book and an apple. Unlike English, in Swedish language it's the matter of gender, and similar to other languages, French, Spanish, Italian, or let's say German, where you have ein, eine, or der, die, das, which is the definite forms of those articles. And yet, unlike German, in Swedish language, we have only two genders, while in German you have three. We have masculine, feminine, and neuter, and in Swedish we have Utrum and neutrum, and we can say that Utrum is both masculine and feminine to some extent. And we have those remnants from Old Swedish language. For example, if you ask vad är klockan, and you can respond by saying hon är 10. In other words, you refer to clock as she. It's remnants from Old Swedish where the words as klocka, människa, those words that ending to a, similar to many other European languages, words ending to a, nouns so to say, ending to a, tend to be feminine words. And then of course we have kvinna, woman, and flicka, girl. So this is remnants from Old Swedish, although we can say that in Swedish dialects three genders are still alive, but it is not relevant for the standard modern Swedish. What we care of only and only is utrum and neutrum, n words and et words. That's it. Why to learn en and et articles? Well, it has to do with the agreement, linguistic agreement, where our adjectives agree with the nouns. Short to say. It's shortly, that's why we have to learn those agreements. En stor bil, whereas stor means big, and we have ett stort hus. So our adjectives, they change according to the gender, what they describe. So, distribution of en and et words. As we can see, the majority of the words are n words, so it will be economically for you guys to simply learn et words. That's my recommendation for everyone who is learning Swedish language. Concentrate on et words. The rest belong to n word category. So yeah, you don't have so many choices. So let's speak about n words. People and animals, with some exceptions. And remember guys, there are no rules without exceptions. People and animals, with some exceptions, they belong to the category of n words. And then we have suffix are, which corresponds to the English er. For example, when you say läkare, lärare, doctor, teacher. So suffix are indicates that we have n words. As well as we have suffix tör, when you say amatör, redaktör, frisör. It's also people, where you have amateur, editor, barber, and then suffix erska, it's a female people. When you have sjuksköterska, it's suffix inna, when you say väninna, grevinna, lärarinna. So these are the suffixes indicating people, professions, and these are n-words. And then we mentioned that, again, people and animals are n-words. Suffix log, where you have psykolog, rhinolog, psychologist, rhinologist. And then we have suffix ning, ing. When you say släkting, körning. And then we have suffix het, where you have storhet, like you have in English, greatness. Suffix else, else. For example, when you say upplevelse, experience. Again, guys, suffix hon, or as it's sometimes pronounced as shon, but I prefer to keep to hon. When you say nation, reception, migration, and then you have suffix skap, but when it comes to skap, you have to be aware, because it can be both an and ett-word. For example, if we take similar words by meaning, ett kamratskap or en vänskap, where both more or less mean friendship. Kamratskap is, yeah, sort of fellowship, or maybe also friendship. But the one is ett-word and the other one is n-word. And I see it's time for me to mention about our Swedish Conversation Club, guys. We are running online-based Swedish Conversation Club, so you are very welcome to join our online språkcafé. It is free for everyone and all levels are welcome. And as I said before, guys, it's online-based. So you simply visit our homepage, onlineswedish.org, and there you can simply register and join to practice your Swedish language with other fellow Swedish learners. So, if we continue now with ett-words, neutrum, we have mentioned before that people and animals, with some exceptions, are n-words. But here we have those exceptions. Ett barn, a child, and ett lejon, a lion. And I have to admit that there are few other animals that happen to be ett-words, but we have to also agree that lion is the most common animal that people usually speak about. And then there are a few more other ett-words. Good to remember. So we have ett barn, lejon, hus, trä. Ett-words. It's good to remember, guys. And then we have fönster, tåg, land och år. So land, do not let the picture trick you, because land here is assumed as a country or land and not an island. And år is the word for the year. So I had no good picture for that. I had to write it like this. So I also have to say that, guys, if you remember nearly 30 ett-words, you are good. You don't have to know all the ett-words that exist in the dictionary. You are not going to use all of them. Simply you remember those common ett-words and then you are good. I think if you know 50 ett-words, I don't really think that you need more than that. So if you, for a beginning, learn 20 to 30 words, you are more than good, I promise you. So these are the words, ett-words, good to remember, and our list goes on. So we have ett bord, we have ett kök, we have ett rum, and then we have ett papper, we have batteri, and we have ett öga. And pay attention that we speak about a singular eye, so it's an eye, And then we have ett öra, only one ear and not ears. And then we have ett paraply, ett ben, leg. And then we have ett ben, which is also bone. So it's the same word. And then we have ett kvitto. Kvitto, you hear that word very often when you go to ICA or to any other local shop. And we have some more blended words where you have ett spa, drama, and trauma. And the reason why I have this list in front of us, that according to my personal experience, the words ending to a, they are not ett words. Usually if you see a word, noun, ending to a, then you can pretty much chance on that it is actually n word. And here we have sort of exceptions. And öga and öra, they are big exceptions that everyone has to know. And spa, drama, trauma, yeah, those are blended words. Yeah, good to know for the future in case you want to speak about drama. So, and we continue with our ett words. We have ett jobb, job, ett arbete, work, and ett yrke, profession. So, in addition, these words are really good to remember and add to your ett words vocabulary. So, what's the deal with ett words? I promised you that there is a hope. Yes, there is a hope. And one of the hopes is the action words, or the nouns derived out of actions, so to say, the verbs. So you have to understand and be able to differ what is a verb, what's a verb, and what is noun. Verb is the action words, and the nouns are the sort of items. It can be physical items or imaginary items, but you get the idea, it's a nouns. So, for example, when you have the action itself, to drink, versus a drink. So we have verb and we have noun. And yet the nouns that derive from the action, from the verbs, in Swedish tend to be ett words. So if you remember, a few minutes ago, we had our examples with jobb, and you can see jobba is to work. So the noun for that will be ett jobb. And then arbeta, it's also action, right? You are working. Ett arbete. And so you have lots of other words where these verbs, they have corresponding nouns. For example, besöka, to visit, and then you have visit. Hoppa, to jump, and then you have jump itself. Köpa, to buy, and then you have ett köp, a purchase, and so on. It's a good way to remember that the words, nouns derived from action, from the verbs, they tend to be ett words, with some exceptions. As I said before, guys, there are no rules without exceptions. So we have hjälpa, to help, right? And then it's actually n-word, en hjälp. You usually hear that it's n when you hear the phrase tack för hjälpen. Tack för hjälpen, thank you for the help. And then you have leka, it's en lek, jaga, en jakt, sjunga, en sång, and my favorite is fråga, en fråga. So fråga, it's n word. Question, a question. So we continue with our n words. Devices. So devices that derive from certain actions are n words. For example, en fläkt. En fläkt is a fan, and to fan is fläkta. You have en hiss, elevator, and then you have hissa, to elevate, and press, a press, it can be a press machine, right? And pressa, to press. So n-words, devices that derive from actions, they are n-words. And let's look at ett-words, neutrum. And then we have suffix eri, eri. When you say baka, to bake, and then we have bageri, bageri, bakery. And the reason why it's not bakeri as it's supposed to be, since it's the influence from the Danish language, they tend to turn K's to G's, so bageri. And then we have slösa, to waste, we have slöseri. Förråda, to betray, and then we have förräderi, treachery. So n-words, we have suffix ande, which can also be both an ett-word, n and ett-word. It is n-word when it describes people or living beings. For example, en inneboende or en studerande. Inneboende is a lodger, a person who is lodging in your house is inneboende, and studerande is a student or a person who is studying. And then we have ett-words, suffix ande is when it describes actions, as we said, and activities. So, ett förhållande, it's a relation, while förhålla is to relate. Ett erbjudande, an offer, and erbjuda is to offer, right? Ett meddelande, that's a famous popular word, and meddela. Meddela, to inform, and meddelande is a message or information. So, ett-words, neutrum, they are also the words that derive from the Latin words with suffix eum, ium. For example, when you say ett datum or forum, centrum, factum, album, museum. So these are ett-words. And then we have our Greek words with the suffix gram. When you have program, kilogram, diagram, telegram, and then we have ett-words with suffix, French suffix age. When you have bagage, sabotage, bandage, and as we said, guys, before, no rules without exceptions, and massage. So the French suffix continues. We have mang, engagement, arrangement, it's ett-words. And then we have my favorite, et lavement. If you don't know what lavement is, please find it in the dictionary, and probably you understand why it's my favorite word. And then we have en compliment. En compliment is exception. So we continue. Suffix ment, et argument, et element, et supplement. And then we have n-words, utrum. So we have n-words, guys. Pay attention. Suffix ant, en proviant, suppliant, deodorant, elephant. And here, guys, I want to mention that previously we have had a webinar, Swedish Grammar Explained, where we have covered by and large the most of the Swedish grammar, and this video is available in our channel. So simply, if you have not seen it, you can go to our channel and look at this video where you can brush your grammar. And as I said, it covers the very most of the Swedish grammar. So, which is your favorite ett-word, guys? I might have missed some ett-words. I mean, the popular ett-words. If you have your favorite one, please comment below in the commentary section. And if you think that I have missed from some categories or any other categories that I have missed, please also comment them below. For the next videos, I will definitely bring them in. And I also want to say, guys, if you like this video, subscribe to our channel for more such content, and don't forget to hit the bell so you will be notified whenever we have new videos. And as I said before, guys, you are very welcome to join our Swedish Conversation Club. It's completely free and it's online based, so wherever you are in the world, you are very welcome to join our Conversation Club and practice your Swedish with the other Swedish learners. And I hope to see you in our Språkcafé. Have a nice day. Thank you for watching this video.